So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with a new video for all of you. So I'm going to start, but first subscribe my channel and also like this video and stay tuned to my channel. So I'm going to start. Listen carefully. Prince Mangal Sinha of Madhupuri returned to the capital after completing his studies in the Gurukul. King Madhu Singh here was shy of relief. He was getting old and weak and wished to free himself from the day-to-day administration of the kingdom. Now that the prince had come back duly educated, he would slowly pass on the charge to him. However, the young prince was adventuresome and appeared interested more in hunting and spending his days with his companions and roaming outside the countryside, climbing mountains and crossing rivers. Naturally, the king was disappointed in his sons. He tried to reform him by making the wise men in the kingdom to meet the prince and give him words of advice. But all that was not avail. Madhu Singh soon fell ill, and one day he passed away when Mangal Sinha was absent from the palace. The prince was surprised to see a silent crowd in front of the palace. When he came back, as he entered the palace, the ministers whom they met him and greeted him as king of the Madhupuri. Only then did it dawn on him that his father was no more and he had to succeed him on the throne. He did not very much realize that the idea, but he allowed himself to be crowned king as he hurriedly convenienced the power. After that, he attended to the king's cremation. The rituals lasted 3 days, and on the 4th day, they went to him to remind him that he had to attend the darbar. He shouted at the minister, "I have no time. I have already fixed up with my friends to go on hunting. I shall think about my darbar after I come back." The minister was shocked. He quietly withdrew from the young king's presence. Mangal Sinha also carefully avoided any talk about darbar. Whenever they went to him for consultation, he would impatiently listen to him and would not turn any advice. "Do what is best and leave me alone," he would say, and quickly dispose him of. The minister and the equally capable commander of the army, Vamdev, somehow managed all the affairs of the kingdom, ensuring that the people were kept happy so that they will not have any complaints to take to the king, or they will not be aware of any shortcomings in the king. Meanwhile, Mangal Sinha carried on with his adventures either in the company of his friends and many of times all by himself. One day he started alone early in the morning. While hunting, he was led deep into the jungle in search of game. By then it was noon. He was feeling thirsty. He now went in search of water. He saw a pond. He dismounted and went up to this pond and quenched his thirst. He led his horse by its reins for some distance to give it a rest. Suddenly he saw a little hut before him. It was situated in the midst of the garden full of flowers and fruits. The king wondered how he had failed to notice the hut, though he knew the whole forest like the back of his palm. But how did a hut spring up like in this forest? Who lived there? However it was, he or she was true lover of nature and tended the garden with kind, sympathetic hands. He went round the hut. When he came back to the door, he found it open a little up to the pond, and a little away from the door stood a beautiful girl, and she was feeding a bird inside a cage, which now hung up from the low branch of the tree. Presumably, she must have brought it from inside the king. The bird seemed to have seen the stranger and twittered. Mangal Sinha thought he heard the bird say welcome. It was then the girl noticed the intruder. For a moment she shuddered. The next moment fear gave way to the surprise. Anyway, she stood still but soon recovered herself. "You appear to be tired. Shall I bring some buttermilk for you?" she asked, rather unsure whether he should accept her offer. "No, thank you," Mangal Sinha replied. "I was thirsty a little while ago. I saw a pond where I have already quenched my thirst. But tell me, who are you? Are you staying alone in this forest? I have seen many princesses, but you are more beautiful than any one of them." The girl smiled. She now looked more beautiful. "I am not alone here," she said. "I lost my parents and while I was little one, before my father died, he had entrusted me to a tribal friend of his, and it is he who looks after me in this forest. I know something about the medicinal herbs, plants, and that are plenty here. I treat the tribal folks whenever they fall ill. They call me Kamalini. I am Mangasina, he introduced himself, adding, I am the ruler of the kingdom. Of course, that much I have guessed, remarked Kamalini. I have heard your name, but I am seeing you first time. Mangasina was about to say something, so she has tended to add, you must excuse me. The chieftain is unwell. He is inside waiting for me to take him some medicine. Let me go. Mangasina was angry. Without giving due request to the ruler of the land, the girl was more concerned about mere tribal. He could not tolerate it in so sense Kamalini, a beautiful girl, like you should not be staying here in the forest among tribals. You come to my palace, I shall treat you like a Maharani. Kamalini did not like his behavior. She took a good look at him from head to foot and without uttering a word she turned to go into the hut. Mangasina blocked her way. You dare disobey the king. He then caught hold of her and moved toward his horse. Leave me, the girl cried as she tried to free herself. Don't touch me. It was almost like a warning. From nowhere came an arrow and hit Mangasina's hand. Ah! He struggled with pain and took off his hand. Kamalini knew that it was her protector who had sent the arrow. She now took pity on the king, whose eyes were burning with anger. However, she led him to her hut and made him lie on the cot. She pulled out the arrow from his hand and applied some paste on the wound and bandaged it. Meanwhile, the tribal chief had come into the hut, shouting, Where is he? Does he call himself a king? Forgive me, said Mangasina. He now appeared quite sober. What I did was quite wrong. For a moment I was not myself. I did something really foolish. The tribal had by then cooled down. He looked at Kamalini. She signaled to him that she was safe and he could leave. Mangasina got up and she felt strong enough to ride the horse and return to the palace. Ever since his return, he was like someone who had undergone a metamorphosis. He stopped going for hunting, was found gloomy most of the time. Everybody noticed his change and were anxious to know what had happened to him. But nobody dared ask him. The minister, however, took courage and asked him why he had confined himself to the palace for more than a week. The young king confided in him, so they followed by entourage and carrying gifts for the king went to the forest in search of the hearth. Kamalini, these gifts are from the king Mangasina. He has been ambitious from his childhood, but whatever he had done happened a week ago. The Hava has brought in a lot of change in him, and in event he was declared that he would never talk of marriage. Kamalini's eyes now welled up. She wiped her tear and told the minister, please inform the king that he can come here the third Friday from now and take me to his palace. She then ran inside the hut weeping. Minister went back and reported the king what Kamalini had said. Mangasina gave order for the royal wedding. A plague was sent for Kamalini, who, accompanied by the tribal protector, went to the palace where the wedding took place with the pomp and splendor. The tribal was very happy that the charge his friend had given him had been duly extracted and to none other than the king himself. A day after their wedding, Mangasina and Kamalini were closeted in their chambers. You have broken your vow, my lord. Kamalini reminded him, true, I have broken my vow. I agreed to Mangasina. You too had once rejected me, but now you are married to me. What do you say for that? I had rejected someone who was impetuous. She replied, but when your minister met me, I knew that you have changed. Also that you love me sincerely. That's why I agreed to marry you. That's why I agreed to marry me. Mangasina was very happy on hearing that. He recalled how his father had died, full of frustration for him, how he, without accepting anyone's advice, continued his adventures and kept himself away from the capital administration of the kingdom. How he mistook Kamalini to be simple tribal girl and tried to take her away from it by the force. He realized the impatience in a sign of a foolishness and indiscretion. A king should not give in to indiscretion. So this is the story of indiscretion. It means not can anybody be like free and he has to do some duties of his life. So he must be so aware of his duties. So it is the story. If you like this one, so please like this video and share this video with your friends who are careless to bring him more careful. Okay, so like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.